Coming up, a self-parking car. Nervous parkers rejoice. The answer to your prayers is just around the corner. The latest generation of smart cars can do all the hard work for you. The new luxury Lexus LS 460 has been installed with a self-assist parking system. With the help of sensors, cameras and radar, this car can literally park itself.
So as we move up to the parking space, the sonar detects the position of the cars in front and in back of the empty space. And we need to stop by the car in front, then we need to pull up a little bit past it so that when we put it in reverse, we'll be able to see that car in the rear view camera. Then we push the parallel parking button and it projects this rectangle. Now I want to move it out a bit so we don't hit the curb. And then we need to position this flag at the bumper of the other car, again, so we don't hit that. And then we tell it, okay, hands off the wheel, and we just let it come back slowly. Because if it goes too fast, it'll yell at you. And now the wheel starts to turn. And now it starts to turn the other way. Oh, see, it's scolding me for going too fast.
The guidance is finished.
And it tells me when it's done. There are sonar sensors in the front bumper. They detect the position of the cars in front and back of the parking space. Then when you set it up on the video screen, it projects a little rectangle. You move that to where you want the car to go, push OK, and you let it move back into the space. You don't touch the steering wheel. There's electric power steering, so it does all the steering for you.
After aligning the car in the proper spot, there are sensors which track the surrounding cars and their positions as you park.
Well, there's a rear video camera, backup camera, so you've got to watch out for things that might be moving in back of the car. The driver's still in control of this. It just does the steering for you.
With the autopilot system, the driver never has to worry again about accidental bumps or running up on the curb. After the parking process starts, the driver's job is easy. Just sit in the front seat with arms folded or even with your hands in the air. People passing by on the streets of New York admitted they were slightly shocked to see a man parking his car with his hands out of the sunroof.
It was pretty cool. Definitely something I would definitely buy.
It was pretty amazing. I just walked by. I couldn't believe what I saw. His hands were out the sunroof, and the car was parking itself. It's pretty cool.
Automotive editor with Popular Mechanics Don Chaikin said the magazine was so impressed that they've awarded Lexus a Breakthrough Award for such innovative and useful technology.
The self-parking, or the self-assist parking as Lexus calls it, is innovative, and it's also a harbinger of what's to come. And the harbinger part of it is really what's truly noteworthy. This car takes that much more control from the driver and puts it in the hands of the car. This is a car that, under specific conditions, with some modest amount of driver control, steers itself. The ramifications of this are absolutely mind-boggling. By combining the hardware and the software using for parking with other emerging technologies such as radar, onboard cameras, various sensors, engine controls, brake controls, the car that can drive itself literally is right around the corner.
The Lexus LS 460 will set you back $61,000 US. The partnership between Charles Rolls and Henry Royce produced some of the most luxurious and expensive cars in the world. It's now more than a century since the founding of the Rolls Royce motor car company, which came about after a chance meeting.
In 1904, an aristocrat called the Honourable Charles Rolls was looking for a good car to take him around the continent. He met this engineer, Henry Royce, who was from Manchester. They met in a Manchester hotel and they got on so well they decided to make cars together. So in 1906 they were making their first Rolls Royce. It was the Silver Ghost. In 1907 that was known as the Rolls Royce Silver Ghost, and that's when the Rolls Royce Motor Company really started to get going. They've been making cars under other labels before.
Before 1904, Henry Royce's company, Royce Limited, produced only electrical motors and generators, while Charles Rolls' company sold quality cars in London. At their first meeting, Royce took Rolls for a spin in one of his cars. Legend has it that as he climbed aboard, Rolls asked Royce to start her up. Royce replied, "My dear fellow, she's already running." Since then, their joint names have become synonymous with extravagant decadence.
British heritage.
Beautiful car.
Expensive.
Distinguished.
Rich.
The winged lady icon and R&R insignia became a global mark of motoring excellence.
It was really, it became an iconic thing because of the quality of the engineering, the comfort, the suspension, the smoothness of the ride, all those qualities that the very rich look for in their motor cars. And the design of the radiator, the flying lady mascot, the R&R symbol became global synonyms for excellence and quality, and of course very British brand as well.
The car production side has now been taken over by German car manufacturer BMW. The latest Rolls-Royce vehicle, the 101EX, was recently unveiled at the UK Motor Show in London. Perhaps not quite so luxurious, but equally desirable and British. The Matchbox toy car recently celebrated its 50th birthday. Fans of the miniature masterpieces braved a chilly afternoon to mark the occasion. Matchbox is big business. More than 3 billion tiny die-cast vehicles have been made since the 1950s. Collecting Matchbox cars is also lucrative, with top prices of £2,000 or £3,000 sterling.
I think it's the solid build of the Matchbox models. It's a well-respected mark. I mean, you say the name toy car to anybody, most people will automatically think Matchbox. They're just a very well-known make, and they've been going so long as well.
This is one of the original Series 1 road rollers, which could be bought for just a few old pennies. They're still cheap to buy new, but their appreciation value climbs quickly. This auction at the toy store held by London auctioneers Bonhams might just have been a bit of fun for charity, but wheeling and dealing in Matchbox cars is no laughing matter.
As time goes on, then they become more and more desirable and they become rarer. I'm finding at the moment that Matchbox toys that were produced in the 1970s are starting to achieve pretty good prices, whereas maybe 5 years ago they were relatively cheap.
Experts advise collectors to keep the original packaging and look out for any small defects in design. Your toy could be worth serious money. Coming up, a presidential selection. My personal view, I think that we are getting rid of them for the simple reason that to put a bottle worth €1,500 on the table at a function becomes insane. Do you think that Lord Mayor of London could welcome Tony Blair and serve him with 20 bottles of Patron?